Welcome everyone to NASCAR Heat 2 coverage here at Knee Pit Gaming. And this is the series that I've been waiting to start since the release of NASCAR Heat 2 earlier this week. And that is, let's get started in career mode. So a lot has changed in career mode since the release of NASCAR Heat Evolution last year. And that is, last year we had only the Cup Series available. And you essentially had your own team where you had to earn money through sponsorships and race winnings to upgrade your car, okay, through different items in your garage, different pieces of equipment that would make the car ultimately go faster. Well, this year, all of that's essentially gone. And now we have three series. You'll be starting out in the Truck Series and then hopefully be able to move up through Xfinity and finally to Cup. How quickly we do that is completely, as far as I understand, dependent upon the choices that we make instead of a predetermined route. But again, we'll see how all that goes as we progress. So what you're looking at on the screen is the very first part of career mode. So no races have been done, no contracts have been signed, no anything has happened except for a couple of splash screens and videos have played, one including the message from Brad Keselowski telling me that essentially it's time for career mode. So I've gotten all that out of the way and we're ready to get going. You can see on the top left-hand side of the screen, we have our three options. There's check for offers, teams, and then exit career. Now the teams, this is a listing of the teams that would be interested in signing us for future races in future season. Since we're at the very beginning, there are currently no teams interested in signing with you. So, wow, what a way to get your confidence up right at the beginning. There are no teams interested in us. So the one thing that I'm interested in right now before we check for any offers to get to racing is at the very bottom of the screen, we're going to press Y to move into the career mode settings. So we're going to do that now. And we see a list of settings that looks very similar to a video I had done about the single race settings. We're going to check our career AI difficulty. There's legend, which is the highest, hard, normal, and then down to easy. We're going to put this on legend and make it as hard as possible. How hard is that? We'll see. Race length, I'm going to keep at 7% right now. That's a little bit less than I would like for it to be, but essentially I just want to get our feet wet right now. This first season, as you can see on the screen, it's sort of grayed out right now, and of course a message would pop up about the music that's not playing and cover it up, but it's called our introductory season, our intro season. And that essentially means that we don't have a full-time ride right now, so it's going to be week to week, checking for offers and seeing if we're going to be able to race that week. So for now, until we get the hang of things and we see what we want to do, I'm going to keep it at 7%. That'll also help because it'll keep the videos a little bit shorter, or maybe we can even start to pack multiple races into one video. We'll see how it all goes, and it'll work itself out. Tire wear and fuel consumption, I'm going to leave as normal. You can run this up to 4 times, but really all that's going to do is make you pit more often. The tire wear is, if it exists at all, the effects of tire wear are basically non-existent in this game. So we're not worried about wearing out the tires. I've done tests on this at 4 times in single race settings, and my lap times and the handling was exactly the same with 40% left on the tires it was at 100%. So really no difference to be had there, and I'm not interested in making 100 pit stops in a race. So we're going to leave the race length at 7%, tire wear and fuel consumption at normal. Flags, I leave the flags off because some of the AI behavior is very weird in this game, and I don't want to have to mess with 100 yellow flags as we, at some point, increase the race length. So we're going to leave the flags off, and we're going to do a practice and then quick qualify. I don't want to do the stages of qualifying again for right now. We can always come back and change these later. We're going to leave the damage off again because of some weird things in the game about that. Now, stability mode, under no circumstances do I want that on. And always use custom setups. Of course, we want to do that. That's part of the fun, is being able to adjust the handling of the car. And the transmission we're going to leave as manual, even though we could make it at automatic. We're going to leave that at manual. So that takes care of our settings. Let's go ahead and get started by checking for an offer. So let's see what happens. Okay, so this is the first race of the year. You can see it is the Nextera Energy 250, and that is at Daytona. Thankfully, they're telling me what track it's at, because otherwise I would have no idea where they were. All right, other than the fact that I know Daytona starts the season. So we're going to press A to check for an offer. Do we get a hot seat offer? So we have no full-time contract right now, so we don't have any races. And as you can see on the screen, we will not be racing at Daytona. So I'm going to press A. I don't care who won because I'm not allowed to race. All right, so now it's going to skip ahead to the next week, which it shows us is a race at Atlanta. Let's check again. Now, I'm interested to know if it always works out this way. In other words, when you start a career, does it always skip Daytona where you're not allowed to race at Daytona? And then here we've gotten a race offer for Atlanta. Is that always the way it works out? I don't know. Maybe it's randomized. Maybe at least for the first season, maybe the tracks are predetermined where you're going to get offers. But again, not sure. So if you have any idea, leave it in the comments below. Let us all know. We'll all learn together. So I do know that there is one trick that I don't plan on using in this career mode, but I do know there's one thing you can do that I've read about, and that is whenever you get a hot seat offer, if you don't like the team it's from, then you can simply back out of career mode, and then the next time you come in, before running the race, of course, and it has a possibility of being a different team. Again, I don't plan on messing with that, but it is possible. So here's our first hot seat offer. You can see on the screen. It is from HFR, and that you can see right below that. The most important thing is how many stars is the team, because the number of stars will dictate to us how strong the team is, how fast the truck is going to be. In this case, it's a 3-star team, 3 out of 5. So it's going to be one of the lower tier teams. Now that makes sense. We're just getting started. So you're not going to get started driving for Joe Gibbs or Rick Hendricks. So we're starting out in the truck. So we're going to drive for one of the lower end truck teams, a 3-star team. The better we do, the better offers that we're going to get in the future as the season progresses. So the message says we could use your help driving the number 52 truck at Atlanta this Friday, get a top 25 finish, and we might consider working with you in the future. So, okay, so our goal here is clear. Top 25 finish. Now, if you watched my video that I did on the Dev Diary that they released about career mode, then you know one of the big questions I have is, what are we going to use this money for? If we're able to get a top 25 finish, what does the 10 grand do for us? Are we going to buy upgraded equipment, or are we going to buy, luxury boats or something? I mean, are we buying yachts and mansions, or what are we doing with this money, since we're not driving for a team that we own? But that's one of those questions that hopefully will be asked and answered as we continue on with the career mode. For now, we have 2 options. And I find this interesting because there's race now and race later. There is no option to decline this. Now, not that I would necessarily want to decline this one, but let's say in the future, we already have a ride. We already have some offers. Maybe we're not interested in driving for a certain team. There's no option to decline this. So I find that interesting. Again, not necessarily for right now because I want to do all the racing we can, but in the future, once we have a full-time ride, maybe we've moved up through the series. Interesting that we're not allowed to decline an offer. All right, so here we are at Atlanta. We'll be back momentarily with the race. All right, we are racing. All right, boy, these guys are not getting up through the gears very quickly. I know I'm down on power, and the way I know that is that we qualified dead last, and it was an easy drive for me. I held my foot to the floor quite easily. Now, if you have not had a chance to check out my setup video for Atlanta that has been recently posted to the channel here at NASCAR Gaming, then as soon as you get done watching this video, that would be a great idea, hint, hint, because by doing so, you will know exactly what setup I am running in this truck right now, with the exception of the gearing. I had to increase. Look out, these guys are moving around a little bit too much. All right, here we go through the corner, and yeah, we're gaining on people through the corner. I have kept my foot to the floor the entire time, and it's quite depressing actually, because this car or truck has no power whatsoever. We qualified something like 2 seconds off the pace of the leaders, and it was bad. I felt like I was on the interstate out for a Sunday drive or something, which is pretty much what I feel like right now. So I'm going to stick to this high side and try to pass as many cars as I can. The lower I can run on the track, that decreases the radius of the corners, and I need all the help I can get in making this track as short as possible, given my reduced performance and horsepower. All right, so let's move up a little bit higher, see if we can get by this 49 truck, I believe. All right, we're still there. Oh, I don't like it when they start jumping around on what is essentially a straightaway, even though it's got some corner to it. Oh boy, we are just struggling here. I feel like I need some people to get out and push. Maybe some crew members can get behind me and push. Hug that second groove, the tar line there, which in real life would be very slippery, and we would not want to do that. All right, are we clear? I can't tell. I can't hear my spotter. I mean, I can tell he's talking, but as far as what he's telling me, I have no idea. I'm sure he's a nice guy and all, but he's giving me absolutely no benefit right now. All right, chase him down. We got a 9-lap race. We are 5 laps into it. Look at that run we've got on 21st place. I feel sorry for him too, because he's running as slowly as I am right now. All right, 4 laps to go. I don't really want to run right into his tracks because I never know how much they're going to slow down in the corners. And I don't want to hit anybody. Remember, we have the new rivalry system here. I say it's new. It's new to this series, but not new to NASCAR games. And I don't particularly want to have any chance of developing any rivals this early in our career. Hopefully not ever, quite frankly, because I don't like running into the AI, and I definitely don't like it when they run into me. Oh, there he is. He just popped out of nowhere. I couldn't see him the whole quad oval, and then all of a sudden he's back. All right, so it looks like I have found the guy on the track who is running the same speed as me. So I can make up a little bit on him here and there, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pass this guy. All right, let's run right down low. Ooh, there he goes. He lifted there. All right, let's see if we can get by him. Here's your excitement for the first race, folks. We are running on the interstate in the second groove, trying to pass. All right, can we get down there a little bit closer to him? Just trying to make this radius as small as possible. All right, come on, lift off of it a little bit. Lift. There you go. All right, let's get down as close as we can to him. Now, you really can't crowd them a whole lot in this game because it doesn't seem to matter that they have to cut off the radius of the corner and exit the corner very low. It doesn't seem to matter to the AI. In real life, it would matter a lot, and they wouldn't be able to carry near the speed, but in the game, it does seem to matter. They can run this thing like Indy cars, and it would not affect their speed. You can see that because that guy we were beside him, but somehow we cut him off coming off the corner, pinched him down, and it made no difference. All right, we're coming to the end. Can we get him? We got to get him. And no, we cannot get him. Oh, hello, just pull right in front of us. All right, but we got what we needed. That's the main thing. Speed rating doesn't matter. That'll change based off of what car you're in and what team. But we got our top 25 finish, so we're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and move through the screens here. Let's see what it's got in store for us. See what kind of messages, congratulatory or otherwise, we have. So we finished. All right, so we got 15 points. Now, point standings, again, in this introductory season will mean nothing to us because we're not going to get to run all the races. We've already missed the first race of the year, so that's not good. All right, fastest lap of the race, 31.8. Yeah, we were nowhere near that, so nowhere near. So let's go ahead and finish the event and head back to the main screen, and let's just see what we've got. So nice job with the top 25 finish. We'll keep you in mind for a ride next season. Okay, so here's our first result from a hot seat ride. So the way this is supposed to work is we get these hot seat offers, which we got before the race. It gives us a goal. In this case, it was a top 25. If we meet that goal, then I believe what's going to happen is when we get to the end of the season, they're going to be one of the offers we get for a full-time ride next season. So if we're a faster driver, then as the season progresses, we'll get more hot seat offers from better teams with higher finish requirements, like top 20s, top 15s, top 10s, something like that. We'll have to see. And then if we're able to do those, then we'll get more offers from better teams for a full-time ride next year. So to start it all off, we got a top 25. We got 10 grand. Have no idea what that's going to be good for. But hey, we got it. And we don't turn down 10 grand whenever you have the chance to get it. So here we are. What happens next? So John Hunter says, heard you're looking for a team to sign with next season and wanted to say good luck. Yeah, he knows all about that. His family runs and operates their team with very little to any sponsorship. So amazing job what they've done. All right, so he's wishing us luck for next season to find a ride. Excellent. All right, so we got our top 25. Let's see what happens next. So we move on. All right, here's the next race, and I have no idea what that's from because it doesn't tell me on there, and I don't know the schedule well enough to just know off the top of my head. And all right, so we got no offer. Well, I guess it doesn't matter then. We're on week 6, and we got no offers. Oh, it was at Martinsville. Oh, we could have done something at Martinsville. If NASCAR Heat Evolution was anything to go by, we could have had something for them at Martinsville. All right, but we don't get that chance here. Let's see what happens next race. And okay, we're at Kansas. Thank you very much for telling me on the screen what it's from. Check for an offer. And no offer. Okay, so we're not going to get to race very much here. All right. So we don't care who won. Doesn't make any difference to us. All right, let's move on. All right, the NC Education Lottery 200. No idea where that is. We're on week 13 already, and we've only raced one race. Ah, lo and behold, we get an offer. So here we go. Looks like RWR. We could use your help driving the 12 truck at Charlotte this Thursday. Get a top 25 finish, and we might consider working with you in the future. Okay, so another 3-star team, and they're looking for a top 25 finish. So 3-star, top 25. Keep that in mind. I have a feeling that that is going to be a recurring theme. And I'm looking forward to when we can get some 4-star and 5-star team offers. So, but first things first, we got to get the job done at Kansas and get that top 25. But that'll be in our next video. Thank you very much for joining me as we get started in our career mode. And stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 2 coverage here at NPit Gaming.